Welcome to Negotiating with Jesus. I'm Tom. I want to give you a little joke of the day today. I looked up funny jokes on the internet or something like that, and I came up with some good ones. So I'm going to tell a couple jokes. Maybe you can use them today. It'll be very handy for you to have a couple jokes in your back pocket. So the first joke, and then we'll go over a couple other things and whatever. I just have to try and do something. Just some average guy negotiating with Jesus, trying to find some kind of space. Is this digital world a place for me? And the whole world is shifting there. So obviously it's open to everyone. And, it might be the smallest niche in the world for me. I don't know. Still working on doubling my number of views from 0 to... I guess if you double 0. So a guy's sitting at home, and he hears a knock at the door, and he opens it, and there's a snail. And the snail, he sees the snail, and he's like, I don't have any time for snails. He gives the snail a flick, and the snail is launched into the sunset. And then he goes back to his business. And then 3 months later, there's a knock at the door, and he goes and answers the door, and it's the same snail. And the snail yells up at him, "What is going on here? What'd you do that for?" And there it is. So 3 months goes by, and the battle continues. Okay, that one was, I think my delivery was average. So a lot of times you have to practice jokes. I'm just quickly trying to grasp that one and deliver it. I watched some comedians, and they're really, very good. They're not only funny people, but then they practice humor, practice delivery, and stories that they know well. And it really is a polished event to really be good at it. So keep polishing. Practice jokes. I think they're a gift. If that was not a gift, leave it in the comments below. If that was some kind of like a bag of poop lit on your porch, leave it in the comments below. I'll take it like a man, if I can actually say that. That's probably bad. So I'll tell you one more joke. There were 3 guys that were stuck on an island, and one day they discover a lamp, and there's a genie in it, and the genie says, "I'm going to give you each one wish," and they're like, "Hallelujah, that's good news." So the first guy says, "I wish I was off this island back home." And he disappears. And then the second guy does the same wish. "I wish I was off this island." And he disappears. Then the third guy comes up, and he says, "I really miss my friends. I wish they were back here." And there's the guy. He's that guy. You don't ever want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. So, I don't know if I can use those jokes. I might let them roll around in my brain because I like to think about how a joke might be framed within your own experience. How would you say that if it actually happened to you? One of the funny things about jokes is you often have to pay some kind of cost to deliver jokes. And the cost is you come off as somebody more cruel. If jokes are about tearing others down, which jokes are always about something painful, something hard, something that we believe is true, and they're always laughing at tragedy, and it's very tragic. The snail, it's tragic that setback of being flicked cost him months. Whatever he was trying to accomplish with that guy at the door, one flick, one bad word, and it costs something. So, and then of course the other guy is trying to get off the island. If you're not insightful, not clear thinking, you say the wrong thing, and it costs others around you. And one of the things about jokes is they have to be delivered in a way or they have to be true. They have to be true in some way that is truly true, that everybody gets. So the idea of a cost. So there's some kind of sacrifice. I was telling you about delivering a joke costs you something. So there are two types of jokers that I can think about right now, and one is the initial thing that I said. You will sacrifice some kind of sweetness. You'll be a cruel person if you tell jokes. You're going to sacrifice some amount of your humanity. And I just saw a guy who's just, oh man, this guy's vulgar and just rude, and says everything that he says is like politically incorrect, and he's taking a big chance, and he's coming off as very harsh, kind of mean, angry. The guy is super funny, super funny, but he takes big chances, and it costs him some kind of sweetness, and everyone can see it. Everyone knows that this guy is losing something by telling jokes that are mean. So the other type of person that tells jokes is a person who ends up being the joker, or a jester, a court jester of some sort. The other type of joke is where you sacrifice yourself. You're the straight man, and the punchline is how you were the third guy at the island. You were the dumb guy, and you say something, you play it deadpan, you play like it's normal, and then you see if everyone doesn't see that if you do that, you'd be really dumb, you'd be unwise. So that would cost you in your own reputation. So joking, but everything in life costs you something. If you take advantage of people, it costs you some kind of purity in heart, some kind of kindness, some kind of thing that makes you a beautiful person. If you're unkind, there's everything in life you're sacrificing all the time. We know about sacrifice, and then when people look at the Bible, look at the Old Testament, and they try and understand what is God asking of us, and especially that story of Abraham and Isaac. What is God asking that he demands this kind of sacrifice? And the fact is, we all know about sacrifice. We live with sacrifice, and we understand it. That if you love somebody, you have to give up something important of yours in order to sacrifice your life and give them your life. You have to give your children your life. You have to give your wife your life. And it's a sacrifice. It's hard to do. And we're stuck in a world where we're trying to balance that out. We're trying to hold on to our life as much as possible. And yet we know that sacrifice is the only way to truly interact in the world. And we look at those around us who are unwilling to sacrifice, and we feel like, boy, unless you sacrifice for me, I don't see why I should sacrifice for you. Well, that changes everything. All of a sudden, now you're not sacrificing. Now you're demanding some reciprocal arrangement where instead of sacrifice, you're saying, if you give me something of value, then I'll give you something. And it's not sacrifice at all. It's the thing that is destroying the world. It's the idea that I'm owed something, and you better give me something of value before you expect me to return something of value, before you expect me to sacrifice. It is the single thing that it kills the world. So there it is. Jokes, you must sacrifice. And in order to deliver jokes, you have to practice a little more. I'm going to try and keep giving you jokes and talk about how it matters in a Christian framework. And I also want you to know that I'm not going to try and claim that I'm some great learned teacher. I'm going to be some like middle of the road guy who just wants to talk with you. I do have a couple of pastors. I'm really trying to find some space. I'm going to invite a couple of pastors to talk, because I do need people who know more than me. I need you desperately, whoever you are. But I also feel like I have a space because I want to be this low-level guy that can tell you that you don't have to climb to the top of the pyramid. I read these self-help books, and they're about climbing to the top and achieving great success. And I feel like there's something in the world about working in the lower places, in the places where you're not going to achieve the success you want. What is it to sacrifice? What is it to sacrifice, and where are you going? Where are you saying, I'll lower myself and be content with that? That is not a worldly ambition. There's something about that that's right. And it's hard to explain, but everyone knows it's true. If you sacrifice, you're taking a low position, and no one wants that. So how do you explain that? How do you feel comfortable in that? And it's something that somehow I'm in some kind of low position, some humble position. And even though I've been given just beautiful gifts that I clearly don't deserve, clearly, it's as clear as anything. I've been given, and it's like when Jesus says, I believe it's in Matthew, and I used that just the other day. When you're invited to a party, take a lower seat. Don't take the best seat in the party, because then the host comes in and says, "Why are you sitting at the front table?" That's reserved for somebody important, and they pull you out, and it's embarrassing. It's a terrible demotion. You don't want to be demoted in front of everybody. He says, take this low seat. And then when the host comes in and says, "Why are you sitting in this lowly area? I have someplace much better for you," and takes you to a better place. That's the idea of we know it's right with the world that sacrifice is beneficial. But for the life of us, it's very hard for us to take the low seats and think that that's right. We want to achieve and succeed, and we want to be in the high seats. Anyway, negotiating with Jesus, I'm going to tell you a couple jokes. I'm not going to do a Bible story this time. I did reference a couple. So I want to get to Mark 5:21, and the heading is Jesus raises a dead girl and heals a sick woman. It's just one of my favorite stories. When Jesus heals this little girl. Go ahead and read that. Boy, is that a good story. It's got a lot of information in it that's very, very interesting. So, talking to you from the low levels, Tom, Negotiating with Jesus. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again with another couple jokes next time. Bye.